Hi everyone, welcome to my channel again. So in a previous tutorial series, I took you through the basics of SUMO, where using kind of 6 videos, I tried to explain you how to get started with SUMO and some level of details into it. Now, if you are new to SUMO, I encourage you to watch this tutorial series before starting this one. So in this tutorial series, I'm trying to take you through a bit more advanced concepts of SUMO. Working with more complex networks, uh, actual demands based on counts, etc. So, so I'll be creating, similar to my previous series, I'll be creating a series of videos on that. So if you like the content that I publish, please consider subscribing to my channel. Right, so get started. The idea here today is that I have a network already created, which I'll be using directly. If not, if you want to get a real world network, you can also get from OSMWebWizard. So if you have installed SUMO properly, then OSMWebWizard can be used to get a network of your choice, right? So for example, you can now go here. Now let's say, depending, you can type a city. I'll be typing the same area that I have took. Let's say so let's say if you want to take a network like this, you can kind of select and choose the area, and yeah, this, yeah, let's say like this, and then you can generate a scenario. Right, so this will do a couple of things. The backend downloads the map data and do it some own conversions, and then it will create the simulation. Right, so it's a success. Then yeah, I guess. Yeah, let's give it a moment. Yeah, so it's now working. Right, so if I may show it to you now, so you'll be seeing something like this. Right, so it's everything, all the road areas have been, kind of selected, but you can run your simulation, right? So I quickly enlarge the vehicles. I mean, let me zoom it in. You can see the vehicle is also moving, right? So you have kind of can create a kind of a working simulation model, right? I mean, and from here, actually, you can take the network also. Now, if I can stop the network, and then if I select Control T, then you will be having the network that you have downloaded from OSMWebWizard, right? So now from here, you might not need the entire network, right? You may need kind of, let's say, portions of it. In that case, you can edit the network or rather delete unwanted roads and keep what you need. So I'm not going to show it in this video, but if you need a tutorial on that also, please to put a comment on this video. So I'll consider that in my next video creation. Right, okay, suppose now you have taken the network in that manner and you have it, right? So from that point onwards, I'll be taking you through in this particular tutorial, right? So let's close this also, right? So let's go to your, let's say you have a opened, let's open a new folder. Let's say advanced basics, right? So in that, I'm going to use that, right? So let's open this in uh, VS Code. Right. Right. So let's open. Sorry. Right. There you go. You have your VS Code. So you have a new one, right? So from here, we'll open a folder. Right. Let's locate to the place and then select that folder. Right. So you have it now. It's just the authors. Now here, I mean, we'll be using Python later on, right? So therefore, it would be a good idea at this stage to create a virtual environment uh, here, right? So let's uh, select. Yeah, let's select instead of PowerShell. If you can select command prompt. Let's remove the PowerShell one. Now from here, if you type Python MVA virtual environment VNV, and we create a virtual environment with the name of .env, right? So that's the like kind of command to create a virtual environment, and now it has been created. Now then you have to activate it. Might take a bit of time to create that environment, but soon after that we can activate that also. Yeah, now it's created. Let's activate it. So to activate it, simply have to go to virtual environment, and then from there, basically it's right. So in scripts, and then simply type activate. So we are basically activating using this to activate the virtual environment. So once activated, you'll be seeing something like this. So later on, if you are using any Python packages, let's say something like pandas, then you can install them in the virtual environment, and that can be used for, I mean, coupled with SUMO and used for various other analytics, data pre-processing, etc. Or visualizations, those things you can do using the tools or packages available in Python. Right, so let's keep it like that. And then in a new folder, I'll create the network. So the network has been already created by me. Let me bring that in. Right, so the network, I have pasted it in here, right? So you can take any network of your choice. So if you want to follow the same steps, so using the same network, I'll push this to my GitHub repo. So from that, there you can get it. Right. So now we have everything, right? So we have a network, right? Okay. So now let's try to generate demand kind of automatically for this, right? Because I mean, this is the kind of the first step that I want to show, right? So you can now, in our previous tutorials, we like manually created the demand, right? Let's say we started by creating one vehicle, simulating one vehicle, and then vehicle flows, and then to bus. But this network is complex, right? So you can't manually create them, right? So you need to have some sort of automated way of doing it. Now that is where the scripts available in SUMO comes into play, right? For example, the first one that I'm going to show is what you call the random trips, right? So it generates a set of random trips in a given network, right? So they have given the sample kind of the code as well. So we'll see how we can use this to create set of random trips, right? So now make sure that this is my kind of the root folder here, right? So in relation to that, I need to point to the other files that are there when it comes to pointing the files to these particular scripts available with SUMO installation, right? So random trips is already installed when you install SUMO. So we'll see how we can use it, right? So if you simply type randomTrips.py, so you'll be seeing the kind of the input arguments that are needed there, right? So the minimum argument required is the network, right? So let's go with that. So randomTrips.py, and then you have, see, this is the input. You can either go in shorthand with -n, or else the long version of it is -net -file. So I prefer this one, right? So that it's more detailed. And then from here, I need to point it to the network. Now, where is my network? My network is at the network folder, and then cross junction net network.net.xs. Right, so that's pretty much it, right? So if you enter this, right, it will execute it and it will create a trip file, right? So this trip file contains around 3,600 trips, right? So kind of each second, so for an hour, within each second a trip is generated. That is by default how it works, but you can do a lot of controls, but I have used only the mandatory minimal input argument. So what it does is it creates a trip with an ID and a starting or departure start timestamp, and from where to where the trip, starting point of the trip and the ending point of the trip, right? So these are the actual edges in the network in this file, right? So so that is that. So let's see how we can kind of run this simulation, right? So for that, you need to create the SUMO configuration file. So for which I'll just go to NetEdit, and from there, I'll open this network, right? So make sure if you hit the hammer icon, it will be like pointed to the folder which you open the NetEdit from, right? So that would be always a kind of a best practice if you are working with multiple projects. So now from here, I'll save the SUMO configuration file. Let's go back to SUMO. So I'll be placing the SUMO configuration file here. I'll name it as run simulation, and it could be a .sumo CFG file. Let's save it. Let's close the network. Let's come back. Now we have the run simulation SUMO configuration file. It has already identified the network, where the network is at, and I need to give the root file. So don't take everything that was suggested, but instead let's point it to the trips.xml, right? Because there's no subfolder, right? So therefore it's the same level where the run simulation is at. So I'll be simply pointing to that. So let's see whether this will work. right? So let me go back to the main folder. Then you have the run simulation. Double click and execute it. And let's try to, looks like everything loaded fine. Let's run this. All right, so you get an error, right? So it says no connection between edge, this one and this one, right? So, I mean, what the random trips does is it just take two random pairs of edges and then generate trip. But it doesn't check the validity of these routes. Now, for example, let's say that I can. So what it says is 0, 3 from this to this, right? So for from a starting edge to an ending edge, it says it cannot find a route, right? So maybe because the turning movements have been turned off, or simply the road is blocked, or some reason you can't run a trip on that, right? But random trips does is just randomly generate trips for us now, right? So we know that it's not going to work that well, so therefore we need kind of a way to validate it, right? Validate these trips. Now if you look closely here, you will see something like validate, right? I'm not sure whether you can find the respective documentation also here, but let's give it a shot. Say validate. Yeah. Sometimes it's desirable to obtain validated trips rather than routes. This can, in this case, additional validation may be used to generate validated trips. Right. So we can use that so that before kind of generating the trips, it just tries to validate whether these are possible set of routes for us to create the trips, right? So we'll run the same, right? But instead we use, I mean, in addition, we'll use validate, right? So that's that. So that will create a route file, right? Not a trip file. So so then if you want to go to your run simulation, and now we need to point it to the okay, I guess our trips file is being loaded, so let's close this. Therefore, let's rerun this. Yeah, so success. Okay, it works. So then from here, I need to point it to the root file, because now I'm using this root file. Or even trips file. Let's give it a shot whether that works. If that works, that works, that's fine, right? So yeah, so these trips are now validated, right? So that's why you see you can see if I enlarge these, right? So you see now this will work, right? So without validating, you can't. If you're lucky, it will execute, but if not, most of the time it can't, because the network has some inherent, not all between not all the pairs you can run a trip, right? Due to, let's say, road closures, or like simply the turning movements are not allowed. You can also try with this routes.road XML. So save it. Let's run it. Try to increase the size. Simply go here and then select row constant size when zoomed out. Yeah, so this will also work, right? So that is how you work with the it is the initial tutorial that I wanted to share, right? Because now when you have worked with kind of actual networks, creating trips manually would be a very tedious task. So avoid doing it. Instead, let's start using the Python scripts provided by SUMO, and let's see how best we can leverage them to get our tasks easily done. right? So let's kind of in the next tutorial, we'll see how to take it to the next steps and take it from here. So I encourage you to try this out. And if you have any questions, please do put your questions in the comment section. Thank you, and we'll see you on our next video.